Arachin Daf Beis. Although you're allowed to bring the nesachim, the wine that come together with the carbon, at a different date than the carbon itself, but if you do that, you're not allowed to say shira on the wine. Even though Rish Lakish paskin that you could say shira at any time without a carbon at all, that's without a carbon. But if you do it on wine, people might get confused and say that you don't have to say shira on wine that comes with a carbon, because sometimes you say shira on this wine that didn't come with a carbon, sometimes you don't, and they'll confuse the two. So therefore, any wine that doesn't come with a carbon, you don't make a shira. We learned yesterday that the two Batei Migdash were destroyed on the same day. There was 4 coincidences. They were both destroyed on Tisha B'Av, both destroyed on a Sunday, destroyed on the year after Shemitah, and during the Mishmar of Yahayariv. So the Gemara, let's figure out this third one, that they were both destroyed on the year after Shemitah. In order to understand that, we have to understand that the person that destroyed the Beis HaMikdash, the first Beis HaMikdash, was Nebuchadnezzar Rasha. He destroyed it 19 years into his kingdom, which corresponds to 18 years into the Jewish king's, Yehoiakim's kingdom. 7 years into Nebuchadnezzar's kingdom, he chased out Yecheskel and a lot of the Chashuvim in Klal Yisrael. They went to Galus 7 years into his kingdom, which is 11 years before the Churban Habayis. Says Yecheskel in a Nevuah, he says, 25 years after I went into Galus, which is 14 years after the Churban, it was a Yovel. Now, we have to understand, how could it be a Yovel? If the Churban Habayis happened 1 year after Shemitah, then Yovel comes out 15 years later. So we must say, says Rav Huna, that we don't count the actual year of that Klal Yisrael went into Galus, the actual year of the Churban. So after the year of the Churban, we count 14 years, and then everything makes sense. Then the Churban happened 1 year after Shemitah, which was year 36 in the Shemitah cycle. This that it says that there was a Galus of Klal Yisrael in the 18th year and in the 19th year, it seems like there was 2 Galus, says the Gemara. No. We're going to hold, Rav Huna holds that it was corresponding to 1 year. The 18th year of Yehoiakim's kingdom and the 19th year of Nebuchadnezzar's kingdom. So it's actually the same year. According to Rabbi Yehuda, who holds that a Yovel cycle is only 49 years, not 50 years, how do we explain the math here? Says the Gemara, very simple. The klal is that there's no Yovel when most of Klal Yisrael is not in Eretz Yisrael. And since the 10 Shvatim weren't in Eretz Yisrael, we waited until Yoshiyahu went and got the Shvatim to come back into Eretz Yisrael. Once they came back into Eretz Yisrael, the count started again. Says Rashi beautifully. He says there was 14 years of Yoshiyahu's kingdom, 11 years of Yehoiakim and Yehoiachin's kingdom, and then another 11 years of Tzidkiyahu's kingdom, and then the Churban. That's a total of 36 years. 5 Shemitah cycles, 35 years, plus 1 year. And it's kedai to see Rashi inside. Rashi says he's very impressed that he was able to figure this out without anybody telling this to him. And then later on he found it in a sefer, an old sefer, and he brought it to his Rabbeim and they agreed with him. Now what about the second Beis HaMikdash? We said that both Batei Migdash were destroyed on the year after Shemitah. According to Rabbi Yehuda, this works out perfectly. Not so much according to Chachamim, because the Beis HaMikdash stood for 420 years. That means that there were 8 Yovel cycles plus 4 Shemitah cycles, and the following year was the Churban. It works out perfectly according to Rabbi Yehuda. But according to Chachamim, we're going to be left 400 years is 8 Yovel cycles, and now you're left with 20 years, 420. What do you do with the 20 years? 20 years equals 2 Shemitah cycles, 14 years, and now you're left with 6 years. That means that the Churban happened on the 6th year after Shemitah, not on the 1st year after Shemitah. So we must say, according to one pshat in the Gemara, and there's the other pshat we'll see tomorrow, that the coincidences were only 2. There weren't 4 coincidences. You had the coincidence that both Batei Migdash were destroyed on Tisha B'Av and on Sunday. But the 3rd and 4th coincidence, that they both happened on the year after Shemitah, Chacham don't say that. In fact, the 4th coincidence, that it happened during the Mishmar of Yahayariv, can't be with the second Beis HaMikdash, because they didn't have a Mishmar. They were just part of another Mishmar. Have a wonderful day.